Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to this channel and welcome as always to our coffee times to talk about horror books. And today I am here to let you know the things that I plan to read in the month of May.
It's coffee time.
So the month of May, it's special for me because, well, there's actually two reasons. The first one is I'm gonna have the first buddy read since 2020 probably, so I'm really excited about that. I'll tell you about it in a second. And the other reason is that I am finally going back to visit my family in Spain for 1 week. Since 2020 hit, I've only seen my parents for 1 week. And it's been really hard for me, so I'm going back this year to visit them for 1 week in May, and then I'll go back for my birthday for 2 more weeks. So I'm really excited to see my parents again in the flesh, and being able to travel again properly, hopefully, if everything goes well. So yeah, even though I'm gonna be a little bit gone for like a week, I'm still gonna take my Kindle with me because I'm starting to read more at the moment, so I don't want to lose that momentum. I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with the one and only NAKIA. I'm gonna leave her channel link down below. Her videos are amazing. I just love her energy. I just love her personality so much, and I enjoy every single video that she puts out there. So make sure to check her out if you're not subscribed yet. So she and I wanted to read the same book, which is a start on a new middle grade horror series that I've heard really good things about, and that is Fright Watch. These are the series by Laurie and Lawrence, and this is the first book called The Stitchers. So she told me she wanted to read in the month of May, so I have kept this little baby to read it with her in the month of May, and, you know, comment about our reading experience, about the book, about what we thought about it. So I'm really excited because, like I said, I have not done a buddy read in a long time, and I love NAKIA, so I'm just really excited. Something strange is happening in Goody Lane. This is a story based on the secrets of a small town, and we have a 13-year-old queen that calls the neighbors oldies. The neighbors seem like they've been living there forever, like literally, like they seem like they might be 200-year-old, 500-year-old, nobody knows. So they start to suspect that there's something wrong with the neighbors. So this is a very common thing in thrillers and horror stories, but I'm really excited. Are there vampires? Are there some sort of aliens? What's going on with the neighbors? I don't know. I'm really excited. In May, I'm also gonna be reading Midnight Club, finally, by Christopher Pike, because this one has been on my TBR before and I didn't make it, but now it has to happen because I really want to read this one. And you guys know I'm really excited eventually to get the limited series on Netflix by Mike Flanagan. So this is the story about a hospital in which basically they're just terminal illness patients, and we follow a group of teenagers that are all there because they have a terminal illness, and they have this midnight club where they meet and they make a pact that the first one of them to go to die basically has to come back from the dead as a ghost, just to let them know what happens when you die. So I just thought that was really interesting, and I'm really excited to read it. Then I have on my TBR pile The Horseman by Christina Henry. I've been really wanting to get to this one. You guys know I really like Christina Henry's writing and horror retelling of classic tales. She's done Alice in Wonderland, she's done The Little Mermaid, she's done Peter Pan, and I think Little Red Riding Hood as well. And now we get a Sleepy Hollow kind of retelling. This is based on the legend of Sleepy Hollow and the town where it happened. So the people that live there actually in the story don't believe anything about the Headless Horseman or anything about this Sleepy Hollow legend. That is until a kid disappears and it seems like the Headless Horseman actually exists and might be coming for them. So I'm really excited because every time I have read a retelling of a classic fairy tale or a fairy tale, she just manages to turn everything so dark and disturbing, and I'm just here for that. And now let's talk about a couple of things that I'm gonna be reading on my Kindle. I have the newest Paperwhite Kindle, and I'm really happy with this because it has allowed me to read a lot more things, also things from Kindle Unlimited on Amazon. So I do recommend this one if you're looking for a new Kindle or if you've never had one before. So the first thing I'm going to be reading there is going to be something that I got sent by Eric LaRocca that, you know, I absolutely adore. I just really love his stories. They are so dark, disturbing, so messed up, and I absolutely love them. They're also so unique and interesting, and he's bringing something fresh into our horror community. So he sent me a copy of We Can Never Leave This Place. I mean, just look at this cover. It is stunning, and this is a novella that is coming out in the month of June, so I'm going to be reading it right now to let you guys know what I thought of it. It is basically about family trauma, and it is a really, really dark fantasy. It is about this girl that basically her father dies and her mother decides to bring somebody new into the family, into the home. So after her father died violently and now she has this stranger coming out to her house, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just in for the ride. I just read in April You've Lost a Lot of Blood, also by Eric LaRocca, and it was amazing. I'll let you know my thoughts on my April wrap up, but I also recommend you guys to pick that one up. Then I have decided to be a responsible human being, and I decided to start clearing my list of books that I need to read from Netgalley. So I have decided to read 3 books from Netgalley that I got that are coming out in June. So if I manage to read them in the month of May, I will also be able to let you guys know beforehand if they are good, if they are not that good, and if it's something that you should be picking up in the month of June. The first one is Little Bird by Tiffany Murrett, and this is a horror thriller, horror fantasy, and I'm intrigued about this one because sometimes it's not about the skeletons in your closet, but the ones that you can find on your backyard. That is how this book has been described, because we follow this woman that is dealing with a lot. She is recently divorced, and she also is grieving the death and passing of her father. So she is mostly spending time in the house by herself. And you know, she tries to make a routine for herself, you know, walk the dog, try to eat some decent meals. That's, you know, when you're grieving, creating a routine can help to move on. So everything is going all right for her, you know, considering the circumstances, until she discovers some sort of shrub in her backyard, and it starts to grow into a vine, into something more grotesque, and it starts to grow and grow. So I'm just intrigued to know, what is this coming from? What is it bringing with it? And also apparently there is some problems with the neighbors, so it is kind of like a horror thriller with some fantasy elements added to it. So I was intrigued, and I will check this one out and let you guys know what I thought. He Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White, and I wanted to read this one because this is a horror YA with LGBTQ plus representation. The cover was stunning, and I was like, you know, I really need to know about this book because it also deals with some darkness and even a kingdom. We follow Benji. He is a 16-year-old trans boy, and he's trying to run away from the cult that raised him, and that same cult released Armageddon in the world in order to get rid of, you know, population. So it sounds like a lot, and I'm really intrigued. So Benji apparently is rescued by some teens that run some sort of organization to protect the LGBTQ plus community. So I'm just hoping to see a lot of representation and to see perhaps horror also integrated and woven into the real horrors of the real world. So I'm really intrigued to see how this one is gonna be. I don't think I've ever read any YA horror like this one before, so I'm really intrigued, and I will also let you guys know my thoughts on this one before it comes out. If you don't follow me on GoodReads, now it's a good moment to go ahead and do it, because most of the time I publish my reviews there before I do my video wrap up and upload it on YouTube. So if you want to know a little bit faster my thoughts on certain books, it's always a good thing to follow me on GoodReads. And the last thing that I'm gonna be checking out, it is a graphic novel actually called Silk Heels, and this is supposed to be a mystery thriller that takes place in the Appalachian regions, and I'm really intrigued about this one. It has also been said that it has a little bit of X-Files, so I'm on board with that. A local titan of industry has hired Beth Silk, our main character, to come to this small town in the Appalachian region region in order to look for a missing person. And when Beth gets there, she doesn't really expect things to be the way they are in that area after, you know, the town and the people living there basically nearly all abandoned the region when the mines were closed because, you know, no more job for anybody there. And honestly, I'm really excited to check out this one also because I have not really been reading many horror graphic novels, so I'm really excited to discover something new. Alright guys, so this is everything that I plan on reading in the month of May. Pray for me. Hopefully I'll be able to get to every single one of these titles. That is the plan. And yeah, let me know down below what you are going to be reading this month of May. What is on your TBR pile. Thanks so much you guys as always for watching, and I hope to see you all as always in our next coffee time. Bye!